History of Rap is sponsored by Rap Fam Unleashed, the only worldwide monthly digital magazine dedicated to the rap vinyl industry. Each issue is loaded with knowledge from industry leaders such as Brent Knott, John Doover, Adam Sumner, Dallas Fowler, Matt Richard, Vanessa Ulmer, Tyler Dunn, and many, many more. Read all these issues and get all of the info at therapfam.com. That's therapfam.com. I want to take this opportunity to tell you about one of my new projects. Now, I am a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy, always have been. As well as starting a rap business and doing this podcast, I also have a passion for design. I was a designer before I was ever a rapper and found a long time ago that I don't just like seeing my designs on vehicles, but on t-shirts as well. The designs are usually pretty simple, but I figured if I like them, maybe you will too. Stuff your wardrobe at raptees.com. What's going on, everybody? My name is Bryce Shepard. Welcome back to another episode of History of Rap. Today we have Alex Vazquez of Beast Coast Customs up in Rochester, New York. He and I met about a year ago at a Avery Dennison advanced course with Justin and John. And first time we had met, and then we caught back up at ISA in Las Vegas earlier this year. And we decided that we should sit down and talk. And that's exactly what we did. We had a really good conversation about policies, procedures, how he went from a smoke shop owner or a vape shop owner to a wrap shop owner, and how he got there, you know, working from his house a little bit, working in random warehouses, and then, you know, to where he is now with a team of 4 or 5 people and constant work. So talked a little bit about animals, home life. You know how these things go. We just kind of talk and we just go wherever the conversation takes us. And that's it. So without further ado, here's the conversation that I had with Alex Vazquez of Beast Coast Customs. Go check him out.
What's up, man?
Oh, I hear you. I hear something.
Can't see me, can you?
I can't see you. I can see your name.
There we are.
Hey.
What's up, man?
There he is.
How's it going?
Good. How are you? Oh, my little one's going to bed.
They start school?
Yeah, they've been in for what? How many weeks you been in? 2? Second week? Yeah. Second week.
My little guy starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter, it's her last year.
Get out of here. Yeah, they started like 2 weeks ago. My sister lives down in Florida. I think her kid started the week before ours did.
Really?
So they're kind of all over the place, honestly.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how that works out, but whatever.
Yeah.
So what's going on? How you been?
Oh, good, man. Sorry, I'm trying to clean my lens off. No, good. I like busy, you know.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, like busy, but not busy, like busy trying to keep myself busy. Like, does that? So I've had like a little like dip in like sales and like work and stuff. So like
Really?
now I'm working on like selling and like kind of getting that back up and like trying to work on everything else in between, you know, like, you know, the marketing and the, you know, whatever. And I was in a really weird like place a couple weeks ago where like I felt burnt out and, you know, just didn't know how to get out of it. And I kept telling myself like, oh, I'm gonna get up early and like, you know, start like getting back into my routine of like working out in the morning and like, you know, doing this and like scheduling and I just couldn't force myself to do it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was weird. It was just like,
It's hard to get into that rhythm again.
yeah, it was really, really strange. So I talked to a few people, you know, got into a couple groups that I was in, talked to my business coach. I had you know, Matt Ferguson called me on
Sunday and we talked, and he's like, just, I saw your thing on Instagram and you kind of seemed like you were burnt out. So like, I just wanted to talk and see how you were doing. So
That's
it's
awesome.
really good to,
He's a good dude. Shout out
yeah,
Matt
it's
Bird.
just good to know that like there are people out there that just like, they're looking out for you, you
Yeah,
know?
no, for sure.
Um, and that's what's great. It's funny because like, I think like I talked to, I did another recording earlier today.
Oh, okay.
And so like you
That'd be
guys are
number
going to be like a
two.
week apart. Yeah. So like I kind of doubled up, and I'm kind of like trying to put them all together so I can like schedule them all and then like kind of take a step back a little bit.
Yep, yep.
Um,
Yourself some time.
yeah, yeah. It's so far it's working out. So I got like another one scheduled on Monday. I got another guy who was interested. So like I'm trying to bang them out a little bit, but yeah. So I was like, even like, we were talking, and his name came up again, and like I was just like, Jesus, like, and I talked to somebody else, and like his name came up. So, and it was funny because when I talked to him on Sunday, he was like, yeah, I was like thinking about you the other day, and then I saw like your Instagram thing about like just by like Matt Ferg and being that motherfucker. And I was like, all right, I gotta call him. Like I gotta.
Yeah.
So like it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of weird. So like, being in that weird space for a couple of weeks, and then like all of a sudden, like this, honestly, doing this kind of helped get me out of it.
Right.
Like I talked to Tim Evans, and then scheduled with you and scheduled with a couple other people, and like it just helped me because like I like this is something that like helps me like just forget about everything else. Like I love doing this. Like this is me on my free time. Like, putting the episodes together and things like that. Like but because I enjoy doing it. Like it's weird.
Yeah. No,
Um,
that's awesome though. Keep going with it.
yeah.
I mean, if it's helping you out, it's helping everybody else out too. Everything that we get back from when you listen to all these episodes, everybody's winning. So keep
Yeah.
going,
Yeah.
especially if it's helping you out.
Yeah, I thought it was funny too, because like, so yeah, we rescheduled, like we were supposed to do this last
Yeah,
Wednesday.
yep.
And you said you woke up like dog sick.
Oh
Um,
my God, bro. It was a
but it was
brutal
funny
week
because
last
like
week.
on that same day or the next day, like Avery Dennison put out their little profile on your
Yeah,
shop.
yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
was
The
just
case
like,
study
what
there.
about the timing, man? Like, so like I was like, all right, we gotta talk about that. So like just like off the top, like tell me about tell me, because I read that article, and for people who didn't get
Yep,
that email or haven't read that article, like tell me, like that's kind of what this is about. Like tell me about your story. So you had a business stake or part owner in like a vape shop or a smoke shop or something like that at one
yep,
point.
yep,
And then during COVID, you saw a need for, I think what you said, like those spacing stickers, like the
yeah. Like
decals,
6 feet
6 feet apart. Yeah,
apart. Like
they were
we're still
everywhere, right?
open. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People
So
people didn't know
you,
what the hell was going
yeah.
on.
So
So
tell me
keep
what you did.
directing.
Like, yeah, you completely just took a left turn.
Yeah. So I mean, to be honest with you, I've always wanted to like actually be in this industry. I started probably right when I was about 18 years old. I worked for somebody else doing
Mhm.
this. So I worked for him for a long, long time. And I had all the knowledge. I had all the tools. I had, everything that I needed to know. I worked for him, I want to say about 7 to 8 years. And then vaping became a thing. And I knew that my first three jobs ever were corporate. My fourth job was in this industry, and I knew that I never wanted to go back to a corporate job.
Mhm.
So the small business idea just got me. And I jumped into the vape shop thing, and that's when that became very, very popular. So I jumped into it, and it got good. I was on my own for about a year and a half. I went from one store to three stores in a year and a half, and then I did partner with a group of guys. And then, right shortly after COVID, actually right around COVID, New York State, they implemented all these new, restrictions and laws and rules. And on top of COVID, it really did hurt us. It really did. So again, just knowing that I've always wanted to be back in this industry, at some point when, there was that idea, I had invested in some equipment and was kind of just doing things for the vape shops, doing things for my buddies on the side, just doing little things. And then right around COVID, people knew I had access to the stuff. And, I'd have a big network of, entrepreneurs and business owners. And they're like, what the hell? Nobody knows we're open. And, when we are open, we got people complaining about how people are standing so close to each other and blah, 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 blah. And then the state said, you had to have these signs or whatever in your shops, and people were looking for places to get them. So I was getting all the inquiries, and we were just kind of funneled from there. And at the same time, like, when was it? I want to say a couple years later, cannabis became legal in New York. And in the case study, it mentioned, that's how I met my business partner. He was doing labels and packaging, cannabis packaging and labels. And, it's a big part of Beast Coast, realistically, the packaging side. That's kind of what got a lot of this going. But he had an idea of how to do some of the things that we offer and do now, but like the vehicle wrap stuff, like the extensive stuff, he had no idea. And he knew of me. It's funny because he definitely knew who I was, but he didn't know that I was who I was at the time. And we just got to talking, we hit it off, and he had a great space here. So we just kind of sat down, came up with an agreement, and we got things going. And yeah, I mean, that was all during, I would say COVID is when I invested in the equipment. And then that's when I started to really get things going on my end, at least. And then I wasn't really taking it too seriously because my intentions were, since I was in the smoke vape shop space, my intentions were dispensary. But as time kind of went on, I started to realize, like, everything that I went through with the vape smoke shops, I always tell everybody it's like being on a little puppet string in New York State, they just kind of do and say whatever they want, and you just kind of got to abide by it. You could go to sleep one day with a plan and wake up the next day and you got to change that plan, fast. And yeah, it's got to be effective. Where this industry, it's there's none of that. You know what I mean?
A
If
little
anything,
fewer regulations.
yeah, fewer. I mean, if anything, it's way, way, way more peace of mind in this industry. Not to mention, prior to me opening up those vape shops, I loved it, working for my old employer there for those 7, 8 years. It was honestly like just fun. You know what I mean? The type of clients you're working with, the skilled employees that you're working with, versus, I mean, you could imagine the type of clientele in smoke and vape shops and the type of employees that smoke vape shops attract. I get it. Everybody's got to start somewhere. It's definitely an entry level job. And honestly, I feel like it's an entry level business, and I just felt like I wanted more and I knew what this could offer. So I just decided to kind of pivot backwards, but forward.
Yeah. No, I mean, I would definitely say it was forward. I
Yeah.
mean, when we met, like, it was funny because you and I were in the CWI advanced class last year,
Yep.
at the end of the
My first
year, and like I didn't realize, I'm just now realizing, like, how many people in that class are like killers, like just straight up like killers. Like, I had no idea.
So it was funny. I don't know if you remember when Justin, I'm sorry, not John, when John started the class, and he said, he goes, usually the people in the crowd are starstruck. He's like, I'm starstruck. Like, this is a crazy class. I remember him saying it.
Yeah.
And like when I got there, I saw, certain people, and I was just like, wow, like, this is awesome. Because I mean, no disrespect to the regular classes, but you don't really get that, right? Like
Right.
it's kind of cool when you walk into a room and be like, hey, I know who that is. I know who that is. I
Mhm.
know who that is. And aside from what you're about to get out of the class, it's like, what are you going to get out of these people? And
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, they're willing to share information, help, I
Yeah.
mean, just be involved in any way. I mean, realistically, at the end of the day, you and I both know this. To go to these trainings and things like that, just that involvement takes a lot, right? So
Right.
when you do it and then you see the other people do it, you recognize it and you respect it a lot more because they're actually investing in their craft versus
Mhm.
just doing it to do it,
Yeah.
so it was cool to walk in that room, and it was cool that he kind of like solidified that feeling that I had when he kind of
Mhm.
started off the class with, I'm kind of starstruck right now. It was kind of cool to hear him say that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was kind of cool. I knew like maybe two people, I think, in that
Yeah.
class. Like when I got there, like outside of John and Justin, like I knew who Gary was definitely.
Yep.
And I knew who you know what? He may have been the only one. Gary may have been the only one that I actually knew. And I just knew of him. Like I had never met him. Like we finally met like in person, like there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And
that was the first time me meeting any of them except
yeah,
for Justin Pate. I mean, I've
yeah.
interacted with him and met him plenty of times, but the others, this was my first time actually meeting them.
Hmm.
But it was
Yeah,
cool.
and I feel like I need to go back now, like and go through all the business cards that I got and just start reaching out to these guys now, just to see
Yeah,
like
you
what
should,
they've
man.
been doing for a year. Because like
Yeah.
I've kept in touch with a few of them, um, but not as much as I probably should have, especially now that I'm doing this. But like
Yeah.
again, like I you never really realize where someone is until like you really like you ask the questions. Like I said,
Yeah.
the networking is huge. Like I had no idea that your shop was even as big or as successful as it was. Like I honestly thought like the majority of the people in there in that class were closer to closer to what was at, like not necessarily a one man shop, but like maybe two, three guys. They've been in the industry for a few years, but they have a relatively small shop and they're doing really well. And
Yeah. Yeah.
that's why they're here is because they want to, get better at whatever and then take that back to their shop and show them. But like even like what was it? Soja, Southern Georgia Graphics. Like, dude, he like cornered the market on I can't remember his name, but he like cornered the market on decals for those stupid little speakers
Yeah.
as like turtle
Smart.
boxes or whatever they
Yep.
are, like
Smart.
sells the crap out of those. Like,
Super smart.
yeah, I mean, and that's what's great about like this field is, you find a need, you find something and you fill that hole. And I
Yep.
mean, that's like what all good entrepreneurs
Yeah.
do. If you're first in the market, or at least first in your area, or one of the first, like you're gonna at least have a good run.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Up here, it's I mean, first of all, like we're only on year 4. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And we're killing it, in my opinion. And we're killing it with a very small team. Um, we have a lot of subs, but trying to build that team has definitely been a challenge for sure. I feel like there's a lot of I mean, I'm sure it's the same way everywhere, but there's a lot of guys that are trying to do it, but they're trying to do it differently, and then the public just doesn't really understand what's going on. You know what I mean? So it's in my opinion, it's all about marketing. Because in all honesty, I mean, of course I'm going to say this because it's my company, but I would put us top 5. I would confidently. I mean, there might be people that disagree, but as far as like what we do as a whole and our offerings as a whole, there's really not many people in our area doing what we're doing at all. And I feel like marketing has definitely 100% helped the situation, by far. Obviously, investing in ourselves, getting out there, getting these certifications, separating ourselves from these other shops, even the better shops, right? You still got to separate yourself from them,
Mhm.
some way, somehow. So, just paying attention to that and really giving people a reason to want to come here has kind of helped us become basically what Avery said about us. It's definitely a work in progress. I'm definitely not done with what I want to do and where I want to go with it. But at the same time, we've definitely worked hard to get here in the 4.5 years, and marketing, man, it's really been the big help. I think we have a cool brand. I think we have a cool logo. I think we have great presence, and I feel like those are things that you just always have to stay on top of. You
Yeah.
see what the visuals in our industry. I mean, you see
Yeah.
very cut and dry stuff, and then you see over the top cool shit. Like, it is what it
Yeah.
is. So you got to be able to find your group and just cater to them and market toward them. And
Yeah. Someone told me last week, best known beats out best every time.
yeah, yep,
Like it doesn't matter if you're the
it doesn't
best
matter.
at what you do. If you're more well known than the best people who do it, like financially and like as from a business standpoint, like you're going to do better.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest issue, and maybe you could relate to this, because I definitely have this issue or had this issue. I've definitely gotten myself out of it, but the biggest issue is quality, right? Like,
Mm,
people, they seek you, they want you because of your expertise, your knowledge, they want your quality.
mhm.
So then you need to build a team because the influx of jobs are there. But just as well as I do, one man can't bang out 4 or 5 jobs in a week, depending on what they are,
Yeah.
But let's be real and just talk about full vehicle wraps, whether they're color change, full commercial, whatever. At the end of the day, your output with one person, it just doesn't work. So
Mhm.
especially if you're trying to build and grow, right? So I've had to just get it out of my head that not everything's going to be perfect. How you take care of it after it becomes a problem is what matters and what speaks volume.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've been able to kind of, I don't want to sit here and say that we just let things go, because we definitely don't. Like, we take steps to pay attention and make sure that things are good, right?
Mhm.
But sometimes a new guy might be working on something and we don't check it. We rely on that person to check it. We might be busy. Um, it comes back. I'm not going to put the new guy back on it. I'm going to put my best guy on it with the new guy. The best guy is going to train the new guy and tell him what he did wrong. But the
Mhm.
problem's going to be solved. People are being educated. Now we can move forward, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. That's been kind of my approach, and how I'm trying to approach being more confident with letting other people do installations, and me be okay with not watching them and hovering over them and
Yeah,
making
not being
sure
that
that they're doing the right
micromanager.
things.
Yeah,
And
from my experience, like working in the corporate world for 7 years or so, it was all about setting like obviously like I considered myself the best rapper like in in the court like in my corporate job, like I was the best one. I wasn't the fastest by any means, by any stretch, but rarely did any job that I touched had anything ever come back on it. It was very rare. And then trying to teach that to newer guys or less experienced guys, I learned toward the end of that tenure that it was all about like you have to make processes and training videos, and you have to try like somehow some way you have to get your team on board, and that's the hard part because like you can sit down like let's say you have a vehicle like okay you have a transit van in and you're going to take a couple of days and you're going to work on it by yourself. Boom, I'm going to do this by myself and I'm going to take 2 days on it because I'm going to notate everything that I do on it. I'm going to time myself, I'm going to video myself, I'm going to talk through what I do so that way I can make a training video for this and then use that for training in the future. This is what it should look like. These are the quality issues, blah, 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 blah. And you make that procedural, right? So that way you have that down the road. That's the easy part. Like it takes a lot, but that's
yeah,
the easy part. The hard part is getting your team who have always done something one way to change. to get
Yeah.
that buy-in.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
But that's also where, leading by example helps.
For sure.
And but see, that's the trouble that I had in the corporate world, where I may have been the most experienced and I may have, been the manager on that team. But for me in the corporate world, like I didn't have the backup or the support that I needed from upper management to go, hey, listen, like he knows what he's talking about. So, and we're having quality issues. So these are the things that need to change, and you guys need to listen to them. Because if you don't, then we're going to find somebody who will, and your job's going to be like you're going to be
Yeah.
replaced.
Yeah. No accountability
Um,
there.
exactly. So, but in a smaller shop, or when you're the owner and you're looking for that, or someone comes to Beast Coast because they want Alex to wrap their car, but maybe Alex can't wrap their car. But guess what? He's trained the next guy to do it, and he's going to
Mhm.
do it just as well.
Yep.
So like that's where like all that kind of stuff comes in. So like for me, like that's my goal starting out is like now, like when I have a job in right now, like I'm recording it, I'm talking to myself, I'm mic'd up and doing all that stuff. So that way, when I finally do hire someone, I can go, okay, this is how we
Yeah,
want
it's
this
smart
done.
for
This
sure.
is, these are the towels that we use, and these are why we use these towels, and this
For
is
sure.
where everything is. And when you get done with something, you put it back here, and you sweep after this, and you sweep before this, and we take the garbage out at the end of the day, and da da da
I
da.
feel like
Da.
that's the biggest problem around my shop.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Biggest problem.
it's that stuff that, Duver preaches this stuff,
Yeah.
being a member of Rap IQ for as long as I was, like that's the stuff that he preaches. And that's the
Yeah.
stuff that, Brad Rapone, they preach,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, these guys that have these large shops and have a lot of guys and are doing seven figures a year, like you can't do those numbers without having a team that's on board with your vision. So
Very
anybody that's
true.
trying to grow, like there you go. There's your building
Yeah.
blocks,
Yeah.
you
No,
know?
that's 100% true. I've definitely heard them preach a lot of those things, and every little thing matters,
Hmm.
down to, like you were saying, the SOPs, down to where the towels go and
Hmm.
what and why and how. I mean, it's just very, very important.
Yeah, it seems like overkill. Like that was the thing. Like when I was my last job, whenever I tried to do something like that and explain it to people, like we had something as simple as like we had backstock of everything because we were wrapping the same thing over and over and over again. So we had backstock of everything. So like if someone messed up a panel, it wasn't a big deal. We just grabbed a new panel and like moved on. And like we had a process for like, okay, I've grabbed a panel here. I'm going to write it down here. And at the end of the week, Bryce is going to check this list and he's going to order what we need. And we're going to restock these kits. So, like, that was a process that we created and it worked for the most part. But then you have that one guy who gets into a box and doesn't record it or
Mm,
doesn't do what he's supposed to do, or, the stock goes empty. And instead of taking what's in the back stock and then restocking the area that it's supposed to be, they're just now pulling from back stock,
backstop. Yeah.
and now our inventory's off and and all that kind of stuff. So like, dude,
Just getting lazy.
it was like pulling
Yeah.
teeth from like a
Yeah.
Wolverine. It was so
And
difficult.
again, when it's a smaller group, it's kind of all right, whatever, we all know. But once it's a bigger team, that's
Hmm.
when those little things
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah. Yeah. And like
Sure.
I said, the biggest thing is getting them on board because not everybody will see your vision, like why this matters. But at the same time, one thing I've learned is like having them take ownership of stuff. Like, okay, I need someone today to do X. Like, I need an SOP for Y. Hey, Joe, why don't you take care of this for me today? The chances of them doing it and then sticking to it is a lot greater, than you just going, hey, look what I came up with. Now you guys are going to do this.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
So,
man, I get it. It's the implementation is definitely the hardest part of any of it,
mhm.
is just like you said, implementing it, and the follow up, like the chain of guys, like who's gonna help me follow this up. You know what I mean? I feel like that's very important too, is
Yeah.
if there's just one person that is the guy that's going to be the one to call you out, or the guy that's going to be the one to write you up, or the guy that's going to be the one to send you home that day, it's not the easiest for that one person. He definitely is going to need help from a chain of command. You know what I mean? Because that guy's
Mhm.
not always around. And
Right.
then, what if the employees start seeing what's going on and that guy's not correcting them, or he's not, doing anything that he should to fix the problem. So now they start doing it.
Mhm.
So it's I feel like it can't just be one person implementing these things. It's got to
Yeah.
be like you said, getting everybody on board.
Yeah.
That's the hard part for
Yeah,
sure.
it's got to be a team effort for sure. And there's a lot of things that you can try and it doesn't stick. Throw it against the wall, but it may not stick.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know,
Happens everywhere.
yeah, exactly, and that happens all the time. Yeah, you got an idea. Hey, we're gonna try this. If it doesn't work. It doesn't work. But like, let's try it for a week and let's see if your lives are any easier. Maybe it will be. I don't know. But that's and what's crazy about that is, and that's one thing I never figured out is how do you get someone on board with someone who doesn't see the value in what you're trying to do?
Yeah. I
You,
mean, you just kind of said it though. Like I know my partner on the packaging side, he does this a lot. He definitely sets time limits
Mhm.
because it's like, okay, this isn't set in stone yet, but let's give it a time limit. And you guys, I mean, you have no choice to be on board, just at least for this time frame, and then let's reassess it together. This is an idea that I have. Let's give it this time frame. Let's assess it together and see
Mhm.
what everybody thinks, and then just kind of go from there.
Yeah.
That I do like that approach because I mean, of course, it's something that he thought of, but it's also giving them an opportunity to kind of put their input into it as well to figure out, you know, how it really could work. And then at the end of the day, everybody feels like they're involved and included in that. So now people, I came up with that, so I want to do that. You know what I
Right.
mean? We're gonna do this.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, when you have a small team or a bigger or smaller shop, but when you are in control of rewarding your team for doing these things,
that
it
helps.
also makes it easier. That was a problem I had in the corporate world. I never had that control.
Yeah.
I couldn't be like, "Hey guys, we did this for a month straight and everything's working great, so like everybody gets $50 on their next paycheck." I don't know, like, something stupid, or hey, we're
Right.
going to take a half day on Friday. Like, I never had that. I could never do that. But like now as a business owner, sky's the limit,
Yeah, right.
right? So you can kind of, you can play with your rewards and things like that. I mean, because like, again, like everybody answers to something. Some people want time, some people want money, you know, some people just want a pat on the back, recognition for
That's
doing a
another
good
thing is
job.
just kind of knowing who you're employing
Yeah.
because I mean, not everything satisfies, like you said, not everything satisfies everybody. So
Yeah.
just knowing your team, getting to know them, they might be happy with, the smallest little, like you said, pat on the back, or
Mhm.
people just like money,
Yeah.
but sometimes they don't like when it's taxed. So it's like, all right, they'll take this instead. So
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's just getting to know your team and figuring
Yeah.
out what motivates them.
Yeah, dude,
It's
people are
huge. That's
hard.
important.
People
Yeah.
are really hard. And that's
Especially
one
when
thing
you
I
don't know how to
never.
communicate.
Yeah.
That's very, very tough. Very
Yeah.
tough. For sure.
Dude, I just realized one of my cats is in the room with me
How many
sleeping
do you have?
because I could hear him when you were talking. I was like, what is that noise? And he's like snoring. Look at this. Dude,
How
like
many do you have?
the floor is a mess, but like God, look at that fat guy. I got two cats
Two of them.
and two dogs, two kids and a wife. I like everything in pairs except my wife's.
I see that. That's funny. I'm not a cat fan, man. They creep me out.
Well,
They
my
creep
wife's a,
me
my
out.
wife's a vet, and I'm worse than she is though. Like she'll
Yeah.
go to an animal home, or like I'm like every single animal that we've ever had, with the exception of like, everyone's been a rescue. The first two were on purpose. We moved in together. When we moved in, we moved like 6 months after we moved in together. We got a dog, and then 6 months later, we got another dog because the one needed a friend. And then ever
That's
since then,
how it always happens.
we've had animals. So like we've been together for uh let's see, when we moved in together in like 2001. So we've been living together for 24, 25 years.
Oh yeah.
and we've always had animals. We had 5 dogs at one point when we lived in Alabama for a while. We had like a little 1,000 square foot house on a like half acre of land, and it was just us two and
Three
five
dogs, 5 dogs.
5 dogs.
Wow,
Like
wow,
we
that's crazy.
we took
I had
three.
3 at one point.
Yeah, yeah, we took
3.
3 down there and then adopted 2 more while we were down there. And then we came home with 4 because we had to adopt one away because him and another one of and the other male didn't get along.
Oh.
So like after they kind of both got out of like puppydom, they started like fighting and stuff. So we were just like, we can't have this. So um, yeah, but like all of them have like ailments. Like the guy on the ground, like his name's Logan strictly because he has metal pins and bars in his leg. He was like hit by a car, and I was like, so he's got metal in his bones. My wife's like, yes, he has metal in his bones. I was like, great, he's Logan, he's Wolverine. So the other one came in, he had urinary tract or urinary obstruction or whatever. So I named him Euro for like urinary obstruction, URO. And he's still around. He's been 13 ever since we got him because we had no idea how old he
Oh,
was. He's just been 13 for about 10 years. We don't
that's
even know.
awesome.
Yeah, so, and
It's
2 more.
13 forever.
Yeah. So I mean,
I
just,
wish I could be 13 forever.
I don't know. I like animals. I like having, I don't know if I'd have cats again though. Like when these
Cats
cats
are cool, but my thing with cats is they're just so unpredictable. They could be from over there to in your face in 0.2 seconds, and I just don't like that. A dog, I could catch the dog coming. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I like the way cats look. Like they're cool. Ocelots are like my favorite cat, but I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I can't have them around, man. They just creep me out.
Yeah, our cats are chill. Ours, like when we moved into this house about 4 or 5 years ago, and we moved from kind of like we were on like 3.5, 4 acres, so we could just let them outside, and they would just like explore and come back at night, which was awesome. They were like both,
Yeah.
they were the perfect indoor outdoor cats. Still had their claws. Like they'd come in, they'd go into the basement, they'd sleep. We'd let them out in the morning, and they'd be outside all day, and they'd come in at night. Like, but when we moved here into the neighborhood, like we couldn't do that anymore. So like now it's like, oh my God, like they're chill, except when they're not like, I don't know if you can hear him. Like he's
No,
meowing.
I can't hear
Yeah, he's meowing like crazy now. Like this one's loud. So like when he wants attention or wants food, like he lets you know. And then the dogs just want to be with you wherever you are.
Yeah,
Like
that's it.
like all the
Dog thing.
time. It doesn't matter. Like if I work from
I
home,
have 2 bullies. My female is at my hip and my male is at his mother's hip. Like
yeah.
that's just how he is, man. It's yeah, these dogs they just want to be up your butt. That's it.
hmm Yep. Yeah, I got a pity, and she wants to be in my lap. 80 pound, 70 to 80 pound pit bull, and she just always wants to be in my lap. I'm like, girl, go away. She's like 12 or 13 years old now too, so she's an old girl. We're just kind of waiting for her, but I mean, they're good. They're good animals. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I'll ever go another cat. I think I would. It has to be a Maine Coon though. I don't know if you've ever seen that. They're
I
huge.
have.
They
Yep,
get
they're
they
big.
get massive.
Yeah, they're really big.
Like just give me one of those.
And you're good.
I'm good. Like, and the dogs, like, I don't want a massive dog, and I don't want a tiger. Like, if I can drop kick, like, punt my dog,
You don't want it.
that's not a dog for
That's
me.
not a
That's
dog.
that's too
I hear
small.
you. I hear you. Yeah, my bullies are monsters. My male is huge. My female is actually my male's daughter. So I got a
Mm,
father and a daughter in the house.
yeah, that's crazy.
Love them.
So what's next for you? So you went from basically working, so smoke shop to we're gonna take a left turn. So working in from your basically like your basement, right? Like you were in your house for a while.
No, I wasn't. It was
Weren't
so,
you?
office was, we were doing like
Yeah.
computer work and things out of the house. But as far as the equipment goes, the equipment is too big to
Hmm.
operate out the house. And honestly, carrying a printer and stuff up and downstairs, not fun. So I used to have my printer and my laminator at the warehouse of my old business partners. They had a warehouse for their e-liquid. So I had like a side room there, but my plotter and my computer was at my house. So I'd go
Mm.
there, print, laminate, come home, plot, and do all the other stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I guess out of the house, whatever. Yeah, in a way.
Half of it, at
Yeah,
least,
half of it
or
at
the
least.
majority of it.
But after that, I was using the garage also at the warehouse. And then after that, that's when I found my partner, and we were in the place that he is right now. Thankfully, when he was here, he was the only one in the building. So actually, I'm lying. There was like four other people in the building, but like next month, that person moved out. Following month, that person moved out.
Mm.
Month after that, that person moved out. So like we've had the opportunity to kind of start on this side of the building and then slowly take over chunks.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when we started, we had like I'd say with this in the garage is about 7,000 square feet.
Dang.
So when we started, it was about 7,000. Now it's about 20,000 square feet that we occupy in the building. I don't know how we got on that topic, but yeah.
I changed subjects real quick away from animals.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
I told you these
You were kind of
conversations.
recapping and you were asking about
Yeah.
the basement
Yeah.
there.
I told you these
Um,
conversations take left turns, man. Like,
yeah, no, but again, that's kind of how we got to the space. I mean, we were starting there and then we got here and we still have more room to grow into. We just haven't really grown into it yet. So
so you got, are you full most of the year? Like you full up doing 2, 3 vehicles a week or
I
more
mean,
or
as of
whatever?
right now, right in the garage right now, yeah. I mean, we're pretty packed. I would say from earlier, from what I remember, we are booked up into the third week of October right now. In my garage currently, I have a color change, I have a full digital wrap, and then we also have PWF color change currently. So that'll be it for the week. We do other little things like today we ran out, did a sign install. People pick up, their little signs and little things that we do and get done during the week. But as far as like wrap projects, vehicles, I would say there's about 3 to 5 depending on exactly what they are.
Mhm.
But I would say probably about 3 fulls, maybe a partial and some spot graphics thrown in there, a couple of them. We'll get some random jobs here and there, door graphics, throw little logos on a trailer. But yeah, we're pretty slammed right now.
How's the
I could use like 4 more people right now.
yeah. Need help? Okay, dude, I'll come help you.
Bro, please.
Give me a
Just give me a
ticket.
week. Tell the wife and kids you got to go somewhere for a week.
I
I'll take
went down and
you for a
helped
week,
Gary for a
bro.
week. I went
We
down to Florida
no,
and
seriously,
worked with him for a week. It
I'm
was
not
fun.
even joking. You remember Gavin, right?
Yeah.
I was begging
I
him to
love
come out
Gavin,
here
dude.
for a week, man. So do I. I was begging him to come out here. I'm like, bro, I'm so swamped right now. I just need to get out of this little rut really quick. Not to mention football season's here, bro. Like, I need to
Mhm.
be home on my couch watching football. It's just
Yeah.
a must. But yeah, I definitely could use some help right now. There's a
Dude,
little bump right now that we got to get through. But
yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people up there. So I was gonna call you earlier. I have a client who has some stuff up in like around the Detroit area that like
okay,
needs some stuff done. And somebody was like, "Oh, like, dude, Beast Coast is up there." And I'm like, "Dude, he's in New York." And he was like, "Yeah, but he's
yeah.
relatively close." Dude, I mapped it. Like, you're no closer to Detroit than
No,
I am.
I mean, bro, I've gone to Detroit to do so. So
Yeah.
one of our packaging clients, he's in Detroit, and we went and did some like 3 stores of his. We did wall murals out there. I'll go anywhere if it makes sense.
Yeah.
I have no problem
This does not
anywhere.
make sense. Like, I'm trying
Yeah.
to find people
All
in
right.
the
So
area to
thank you for
do
not
it.
calling me.
Like, yeah, I'm trying to find people within like the Detroit, because
Yeah.
even it's like 5 different locations, maybe max 45 minutes at each location. Like, and you're moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
But you're gonna, like, I mapped it out, and you're gonna be in the car for probably 2 or 3 hours just going from location to
The
location,
location. Yeah.
which is it's stupid. So I'm like,
Doesn't make sense.
yeah, I've already told my client, like, listen, like, you're gonna pay a little bit extra for these because I do them here. Like, they're just like little cabinets or whatever that they brand their cabinets, they ship them out, and the people who are using their parts, they get their parts out of a branded cabinet. It's very simple.
Okay.
but I don't charge a lot for them here because I do them on site and then they ship the cabinets.
Right.
But now they're like, oh, we got 5 of them up in like the Detroit area. Can you do them? And I was like, and their first question was, do you mind to go up there and do them? And I said, you realize like it's gonna like more than quadruple the cost of each one if I go do this because you're going to pay for either my mileage to drive up there or a plane ticket. You're going to pay for at least one night in a hotel, all of my food, like
Yeah,
you're going to pay for
of
everything.
course.
And like not to mention like, me, all of this. And I was like, I can try to sub it. Like I'll see if I can find some people and see if that makes sense. And they're like, oh, that'd be great. Cause like, dude, like
Yeah, I mean
it's
that wouldn't make sense for you or
yeah,
them.
doesn't make sense. I'm like, this is crazy. But yeah, I
There's a
thought
lot
of
of people in
you
Detroit.
and then realized you were 5 hours away, just like I am. And I'm like, well,
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
So
Now it's funny. Obviously we're Rochester based, but we do a whole lot of work in Buffalo.
oh yeah.
Like I mean, we really do. I would say majority of the year so far, we spend a lot of time in Buffalo.
Mhm.
Here and there, Syracuse. Ferg's got that pretty locked down, to be honest
Mhm.
with you. But there are some times that we get some calls. Like we did a job at Syracuse University. Um, but I would say Buffalo, surprisingly, like we get a lot of requests in Buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been doing a lot of work in northern Cincinnati recently, and that's still like an hour haul for me. I'm
Yeah,
like, just and
yeah,
it's not,
that's about an hour away for us too. Buffalo is about an
yeah,
hour and
yeah.
20.
Yeah, with traffic's good, it's fine, but like I got to go up there tomorrow. I got to be up there 9 o'clock just for a consult. But it's
Oh,
like lucrative job, like that
yeah,
could. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go up there and see what these guys because I could have given them like a number and just be like, here you go.
yeah, yeah,
But like this is something that needs a little bit more finesse.
yeah.
So
You get your eyes on it.
I was gonna ask you. You mentioned the PWF. How are you guys faring with color change? PPF or like dry apply PPF. Are you guys seeing a lot more of those or are you
So to
pushing
be
it? Like,
honest with you, no.
yeah.
All year I've done one, two, three, four. And it's the end of the year.
Yeah.
So it's definitely been a hard sell. I feel like now with one, it's a new product, right? But there are quite a few different companies out there that people are liking and talking about more. Um, so I feel like in about a year or two might be more of the changeover that everybody was thinking that no more vinyl, no more traditional vinyl. It's going to be color PPF. I give it a couple more years maybe, and even then, vinyl will always be on the table. But it's definitely hard to sell, given the price points. Like I get
Yeah,
it. Some of the
it's tough.
other brands they are definitely cheaper. Um, but it hasn't been around long enough for me to go put it on one of my clients' cars and be okay with me putting it on their car.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
I
mean, if
don't
you're
know.
if you're trying to sell a color change job for between, I don't know, 45 or $5,000, and then they say, oh, well, what about this stuff? And now all of a sudden the price point is 10 or 11, or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be, even if it's just double.
Yep.
Like they go, whoa. And you're like, well, yeah, but you're never gonna have to change it,
Yeah.
and you get protection. And like there are like
Yeah. I
it, I
have a
think,
customer, the customer's car that I have in here right now. She wanted her first wrap. She wanted a very, very inexpensive wrap. So we did it. I want to say we did it right around three grand, about 3 years ago. And I'm not gonna say the material, but it faded horribly. It She wasn't happy, but she also understood because she had a budget. She didn't give me a hard time about it at all. She just wanted it redone. So we sold her on colored PPF. So now we go from a $3,000 wrap to an $8,000 wrap 3 years later. Um, that's not the easiest thing to do because a lot of people, once they get a wrap and it turns out like that, they give up. They're like, I'm never doing this again. I'm just taking this off my car and I'm done with it.
yeah,
But her trusting us, we warned her in the beginning. We were transparent with her in the beginning. So again, she already has that, trust in us that we're honest. We told her what it would end up looking like and roughly when, and everything that we said was true. So
Mhm.
she wanted another one and she came back right back to us. But that's the only time that I think I've ever sold a rep to the same person, other than my one buddy who's like 30 reps in. He's my number one client, but he'll rep everything and anything. But
Yeah.
I would say she's probably my only non-business customer that I've sold another rep to.
Yeah. Do you have a procedure for like quality follow-ups with your, like, especially like color change stuff? Like you go, hey, I want to see you back here in a month. Let's schedule something, or 6 months or whatever.
So
Just
we offer like a little warranty internally in the shop, and our stipulation is, you have to come to your 6 month appointment,
Mhm.
and then you have to come to your 1 year. Um, just as well as I do, that any issue is going to happen within 6 months if there
Yeah.
is an issue.
Okay.
So if I have 2 times to fix that issue, nothing's ever going to happen again with this vehicle ever again, unless it's a material defect. But as far as install goes, or, it's beyond that, there's nothing that's going to happen to the vehicle. So as long as you hit those 2 checkpoints, we'll give you a little more of a warranty. But
Yeah.
that's
So do you include that with the price, or is that like an
yeah.
additional,
Yeah,
like,
no, that's
extended
included.
warranty type
No,
deal?
it's included because that's kind of like it's our certification flex, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we're confident in what we do,
Right.
and this is why. So we'll confidently offer you this, and again, haven't had anybody after a year come back. They might watch this video and then be like, hey, wait a minute, I forgot to come back. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
well, and that
haven't
was
had anybody come back. I recently, I will say this, I'll be honest. Just last week there was a gentleman that we did a wrap for, and the emblem, when we put the emblems back on, the adhesive, I guess, is a little too strong or something, but it's starting to lift the vinyl off. I don't know if we just
Hmm.
didn't post heat well enough before we put the emblems back on. So that is definitely an issue that
Hmm.
we got to address. And then um, same guy didn't really want us disassembling anything, so we really couldn't disassemble anything at all. One area, tricky area, just didn't get trimmed well enough. Nothing crazy, just gotta get a better trim in there. And then another area around the wheel well, it was a Rivian. By the way, it was what is it, R1T or R1S? R1S, I believe. Um, another area in the wheel well. I'm not sure what happened because when it left, it didn't look like that, but I'd like to see it in person to kind of address it a little further. I've only seen pictures and videos. But regardless, I mean, we stand behind it. So it's just, doing it. And honestly, he's the first one in a long, 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 long time that has come back at least within a week. You know what I mean? That's unheard of, honestly. I'm just mentioning it just to be honest and transparent. It happens. You know what I mean? We're all
Yeah.
not
No, it
perfect.
does happen. Absolutely. I had one not too long ago where um a girl, like, she noticed, she was like, I was getting ready to wash it, and like one of the door handles was just like a little tiny whatever on the door handle, and I was like, oh man, did I like really post heat that door handle or not? Like, did I like, because there was one, I remember there was one that like I rushed because I had to get out, so I was just like, I gotta get out of here, and
Yeah.
did it. And sure as shit, man, that's exactly the one. I'm like, that's what happens when you try to cut corners. It's like
Yeah.
something messes up. And while she was in, like, I checked over the entire thing again and noticed some things that she, like, just little tiny things that like only I would notice, took care of them. And I
Yeah.
pointed them out to him. Hey, like, this was an area that needed attention. This was an area that needed attention. Everything else is good to go. How are you liking it? Oh, I love it. Like, people look at it all the time. The ceramic coating on it's amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't it was like 2 weeks and she hadn't even washed it yet, but it looked just super clean because of the
Yeah.
ceramic coating on it. So
Yeah.
she was just like, I'm so happy with everything. I'm like, all right, fine,
What
great.
do you use for ceramic coating? What's your go-to?
So right now I've been using the G Technic, the flex stuff. I don't know what it's called. It's like flex something or other, but it's specifically made for PPF and
Yeah.
vinyl,
Yeah.
and it doesn't change the sheen. Like it doesn't change the like. So if you're working with an ultra matte or an absolute matte from
It's
like
staying
APMF,
over that. Yeah.
it stays. It does not add any shine to it whatsoever. But the crazy thing is, if you add it to gloss, like it'll kind of enhance the shine a little bit. It's weird.
Really?
It's like, yeah, and I think maybe it's just because it looks cleaner longer. So
Yeah.
maybe that's why. But yeah, I do that and I just tell people like, listen, it's 18 to 24 months because that's what it says on the box. It's a cheap bottle. It's like, I don't care, but I'll say it at cost. It's like $100 at cost, like for the bottle. Um, and then I charge anywhere from I usually charge about 500 to do it. They get 18 to 24 months on it, and then when I'm done with it, when I'm done with the wrap, I give them a digital PDF on a care guide that I put together that literally has photos, links, um, and even like links to like some videos and stuff on like how to care for the wrap. Like it's basically everything that I do to my car because my car's wrapped and my car usually always looks good is in that PDF. And it's like I've just like here's your information, here's how to take care of your car. Now the more you wash it, it could wear away the
Yeah.
ceramic coating because that's one thing I've learned is people will say, "Oh, well, it's a 7-year ceramic coating. Oh, it's a 3-year ceramic coating. It's a what?" Well, it kind of depends on how often it's washed,
Yeah.
how often it's in, harsh elements outside,
Washing
or
movies.
yeah, or how infrequently it's washed.
Yeah.
So like there are so many unknowns to that it's like you have to give people a range. Like, listen, it's supposed to last up to this long, but it may not. It all depends on you. How
Yeah, for
often do you
sure.
brush your teeth? Do you
Yeah.
have cavity? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
do you have any cavities? Like, it's all about the better you maintain it, the better it's going to look and the longer it's
Right.
going to last and the more you're going to enjoy it. That just goes down to like the girl that you had your wrap in her car, like she had it for 3 years. She may have used an inexpensive vinyl, but you don't know how well she took care of that wrap after it left your shop.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I feel like she overly took care of it.
Yeah.
She also works at Delta Sonic, so she's I'm sure she was cleaning her car every chance she had,
Yeah.
so and
Yeah.
they
But
don't use
in what
the
products was she using?
that's what I'm
Like
saying.
that's
They don't use the best. It's a
yeah.
chain car wash place, so their products aren't the best products. So
Right.
if I had to guess, that's what it is because every time I saw her in the car, it was always clean. She
Yeah.
definitely tried to take care of it, but I think she
Hmm.
just overly took care of it, to be
Yeah.
quite honest with you.
Yeah. And that's the thing, people ask all the
Mhm.
time, well, can I take this to a car wash? I mean, I'm not going to tell you no because technically, yes, you can
Yeah,
take it through a
but
car
you
wash,
shouldn't.
but you probably shouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've actually started telling people, I'm a big fan of rinseless washing now.
yeah, yeah,
So I kind of do that as a prep.
yeah,
And I do it to wash the vehicle. And the only time I ever really truly use like a traditional wash or a 2 bucket system wash is when I want to get like wheel wells and like under the
yeah,
car and like all that. Like I'm doing a deep clean on it. But dude, I will water like I drive an Impreza. I will rinseless wash my car in 30 minutes and I'm out the door.
yeah.
Like
You're
I'm
out.
gone, so
Yeah,
so I like that. It's good. It's time saving. And like I said, for prepping a vehicle, dude, like it's almost second to none. I mean, you can use it as clay bar solution.
are you using the absolute? With this what? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. I love that
Yes.
stuff too. That's a good.
Absolutely. Yeah. Buy it by the gallon. I
Yeah,
absolutely love it.
yep.
It's one of those things where, I'll try anything twice to see if I like it. So like if someone recommends something to me, hey, try this. Okay. And if it works for me, like on a regular basis, then I'll
Yeah,
adopt it and I'll write it into my procedures. And then I'll tell people like, hey, this is what I use. It works great. Do it. Like I'm not getting paid from PNS or I'm not
yeah,
getting paid
right.
from, G Technic or anybody, but like this is what I use and I love it, and it's great. So but that comes, that's part of our job is making sure that we're leading people down the right path when it
For
comes to
sure.
care and
Doing the proper things.
yeah, choosing what vinyl they want and things like that, like, well, do you keep this car inside all the time or do you like,
Yeah.
how often do you drive it? No, I don't do that. I rarely wash my vehicle. All right, well, maybe you should get something that's going to be a little bit more resilient,
Right.
or, oh, I want to change it in 6 months. All right, sweet. Let's do this fluorescent wrap that's going to fade in less than 6 months.
6 months. Yeah. Yeah. Do something cool and wild.
Yeah. So you never know. Or, let's do let's use a one of those hybrids. Let's use like a tech wrap film. They look great, but you should probably take them off in probably a year or under 2 years
Or the next day.
or the next day.
Just joking.
Yeah,
I'm
it
just
depends. I don't sell them. I try not to.
yeah.
The only time I've ever used tech wrap or a Nosatech or any other like hybrid wrap material is when the client was absolutely adamant about
The color.
that film.
Yeah.
Um, Even if it was something like, because I've done it before where they've come in and say, I want this. I'm like, okay, this is great. Like, have you seen it? This very similar product in this film. It's going to last longer. It doesn't have, like, yes, it's going to have some orange peel, but people get really particular about that.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I
uh,
feel like you got to warn them just so they know. With some of them, I try to be pretty transparent with all the films and at least the things that I like and don't like, and
mhm,
you know, just so they can't come back and say, "Well, what's this? You sold me this. You said, I got to point out. I mean, there's something about every brand, right? There's
mhm.
something about every brand.
Yeah.
I definitely have my favorites, but even my favorites have some issues sometimes. So it's
Mhm.
something that again we wouldn't know these things if we didn't spend the amount of time that we do with them. So being able to have that experience and that knowledge and being able to let these people know like what it is helps you build that relationship, you know,
Yeah.
that trust. And again, not every film's perfect, but
Yeah.
they all
No,
got their
no.
positive.
Everything has its quirks. Every film has its quirks. Everything. It just that's the way it goes. But like having the knowledge and that kind of that's what separates a business owner or like a professional installer, professional rapper from an amateur
Hmm.
at the end, like period.
Yeah,
Having the knowledge to back up what you're talking about,
for sure.
and
I mean, there's
being able
products
to
out
look
there
at
that
it.
I still haven't touched, but I try to touch them all just to
Yeah.
get a feel for them. But um, I guess sometimes I just know which ones to stay away from, and then there's sometimes I was like, no, I want to try this.
Yeah, and
Just
there's so
get my
many of them
opinion on
now.
it. Yeah.
Like if I feel like there's a new like brand of vinyl like every 6 months.
Yeah. Well,
You
now
know.
it's the color PPF, but yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think like what I think Metamark is like came out with a color change film.
Really? Have you played with any of the new Arlon stuff?
Mm-mm.
No.
Are they going back to color change?
Yeah, that's what I've seen.
They got out of that game a few years ago. What are they doing?
I just saw it recently at one of the recent shows that I didn't. I think it was RapsCon maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw something about it, a video or something. I haven't seen it, haven't touched it yet. I haven't played with it. Maybe SEMA. Are you going to SEMA?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I'd
No.
want to. I talked to somebody about this thing. Like if it would be really great if I could, or at least like maybe go to the showdown in Orlando. But like I think fiscally it would be irresponsible if I tried to go to SEMA this year. So I
But you
maybe.
will be at ISA in Orlando.
Oh, I don't know. Like
Oh, okay,
that's
okay.
that's what I'm. Yeah, I don't know. Like if I do, because I went to ISA
Yep,
out in Vegas, which was
yep. I
great.
saw you.
That was kind of like my treat. I'm going to go out there. Um, so, but I was able to do that also because I still had like a 9 to 5 job. So
Gotcha.
like I was able to take off work and still
Yeah.
kind of get paid.
Yeah.
Now I can't do that. I have to have like a
Yeah.
little bit of a nest egg because since I'm the only person, like if I'm not working, I'm not making money. Like
Yeah.
if I'm
I
not
get it.
selling stuff, I'm not making money.
Yeah, I
So
get it.
yeah, until I can actually grow a
What
little
you
bit.
got to do is you got to line up some jobs there for the show
Hmm.
so you can get paid and then go have fun.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. A friend of mine,
They're always
just
asking for help last minute.
I know a friend of mine just recently backed out, had to back out of a trip to Hawaii in December. Like they have like a timeshare or whatever in Hawaii, and they're like 2 weeks in Hawaii for like literally their lodging is like $800. I
Wow.
don't know how they're floating that, but a plane ticket out there is like between a grand or two or something like that. It's like 2 grand, like round trip from Cincinnati during the times that they wanted to go. And my wife was like, they're trying to sell this like ticket, like get people to go. Like, do you want to go? I'm like, never been to Hawaii. 2 weeks? Who could I call out in Hawaii to just like work one day to help fund this
There's
trip?
got to be someone.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, oh, I could call it, but I don't think we're gonna do it. But trust me, dude, I thought about it. I'm gonna take an extra day and try to work for somebody. Do you need help in your shop? Like, I'll do
Yeah.
whatever if you just pay me my daily rate and
Yep. You'll
help
be good to
try to
go.
fund this. Yeah, this be good. So,
That's awesome.
but yeah.
So no
So,
Hawaii.
uh, all right. Well, shit. We're coming up on 9:30. We've been at this for over an hour,
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
it's definitely been a minute.
Yeah, you asked how long this was going to be. I said fine. So, I mean, we'll wrap up. I usually ask some questions at the end of these things. I don't have them in front of me, but are you reading anything in particular right now? You reading any books?
Honestly, no, I'm not. That's one thing that for a while, I was in Duvers Club, but things got hectic and crazy again, bro. Like you were saying, kind of when we started this, like I need to get back on track.
Mm,
Now that school's starting, maybe it be a little bit easier to get back on track. Summer definitely. I don't want to say I got lazy because by no means was I lazy, but I definitely let a whole lot of things slide. So it's time to, I mean, it's cold in New York too in the wintertime, so it's easier to kind of buckle down. And when it gets
mm,
cold out, when it's warm out, we all just want to be outside and just, doing things and
yeah,
enjoying the weather. So
yeah.
not that that's an excuse, but to be 100% honest with you, no, I haven't at all.
Just start listening to books. That's what I do. I don't read.
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, they're one of the guys, he's always listening to it in the garage when we're working. So I guess indirectly, yeah. I've been listening to books.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm doing. I'm actually about to finish up the next conversation or your next conversation by Jefferson Fisher. They had covered that in the Rap IQ book club a
Oh,
couple months
really?
back, and I had the book, but I wasn't like following with them. And I bought the book and then like with every intention to like actually sit down and read it, but then I bought it because Jefferson Fisher, the author, is such a good like orator or orator. I don't know. I don't is talker, speaker. So I wanted to like, you know what, let's listen to him. And he's pretty good at it. He's kind of robotic when he talks a little bit, but like he listening to him say his own words is good. And it's really good about like teaching you how to speak, communicate with
Yeah,
people, like especially in combative situations, because nobody likes conflict, right? So
right.
nobody like, so he really does a good job of teaching you, like, if you're having this kind of problem, like this is what you should do. These are some tips and tricks that you should follow to make sure that you're not like triggering another person to have like an adverse reaction or whatever.
Reaction
So
or responses.
that's really good. And then I have the lean deal down here on my floor, which I haven't finished. I'm about halfway through that. Um, and then I got to figure out some other books. I've read some other like fantasy slash just fiction books that, so I kind of like my wife gets into some books and I read some of the stuff that she reads so we can talk about stuff. that makes sense.
No, that's awesome. I wish I had that. I wish I could have somebody to go back and
Yeah.
forth with on that. No, my daughter's a reader. She definitely likes to read. My niece loves to read. I've never really here and there, definitely. But for me, books are like movies for me. Like if you don't catch me in the first 5 minutes, I'm done.
Mm,
I'm sleeping and
yeah.
I'm not
That's
picking
why I
that book up
recommend
again.
audiobooks, dude. That's
Yeah,
why I recommend audio. Just get the audiobook and then buy the actual physical copy as just a trophy you can put up on a shelf
yeah.
somewhere. And you can go, I read that.
I
So
listened to that.
yeah, I listened to that. But you know what? I actually heard that listening to a book is better than reading a book because when you read, your eyes are like really only catching like every other word or like every few words. It catches the words that it needs to, right? It
Yeah,
doesn't see the thes and the a's and the
yeah.
of and like all the little filler words.
That's why you're constantly going back and wait, I gotta reread
Ye-
that
Yeah,
versus
so like
listening to it.
yeah, so you're really only reading like every other or like the important stuff, but when you listen, you actually, because whoever's reading it to you is usually trained in something like that, they are saying and enunciating every single word
Right.
that you actually get more of it
Yeah.
than you would if
I
you
mean,
were
it
to
makes total
read it.
sense.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So like after I heard that, I was like, oh, I think they're right. Like, and
Yeah.
so if I have time, I will listen to it as I read it. Like I'll literally do both. Like I'm getting read to like I'm a kindergartner or something like that, which I
Hey, if
think
it's
is
gonna help you comprehend it more,
yeah, which is
it's
great because then I
help.
can you can highlight and stuff like that.
Right,
So
right.
so I try to read as much as I can, but like sometimes it doesn't happen. Kind of get those distractions and stuff away. I deleted Instagram off my phone.
Yeah.
So now, like, if I'm doing anything there, it's either through like the business suite or like on my iPad. And I give myself like 30 minutes and like it's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I that definitely need to. I
mm,
mean, thankfully, our marketing team does a lot of our Instagram work. And if you look at my personal Instagram, probably haven't posted in over a couple of years.
yeah,
It's kind of hard to follow. I kind of just like reshare, repost things on social media, post about the kids every once in a while, but try to limit myself to that
yeah,
also. Just distraction, like you said, big distractions.
yeah. That was part of my like getting out of my funk. Like it was like, dude, I was literally sitting and I'd be sitting here at the computer like working on something or whatever, and I'd get a text and I'd look down and I'd check it or go to like respond to it, and the next thing I know, I'm scrolling Instagram for like 10 or 15 minutes, and I'm like, and I realized I was finally doing it because I kind of audited one day like what I was doing, and at the end of one of my days, I was just like, I didn't do shit today. I did
So
absolutely nothing. And so like that night, like it was gone, like deleted. And then like I kind of got back into like so she's just getting those like dopamine hits on Instagram and stuff like that. Like it's no bueno, man.
yeah, no, I'm there with you. I totally agree. Totally agree.
But we need it, right? Can't live without it.
Yeah, right. You gotta stay in tune, right? You gotta know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. So all right, man. Anything else? Where can people find you? Speaking of social media, where can people find
Yeah.
you? Now that
So
we've just said, hey, social media sucks. Where can
Beast
people
Coast
find?
Custom underscore. And then obviously our website, beastcoastcustom.com. Very simple, easy. I would say visit the website to get you to everything else. And even the videos are on there from our socials. So if you're not a social media person, just go right on the website and everything's there.
And you guys handle everything from color changes to commercial vehicle wraps to wall murals, door
All of
decals.
it, man. Windows, walls, floors, vehicles. I mean, even to packaging, apparel. We do a lot of, displays, things like that. But yeah, I mean, it's not just the vehicle wraps. But my favorite things to do are wall murals and windows. I love them. I think it's fun. It's easy. But the money's worth it. Especially when you get large murals. I've been doing a lot of Walmarts lately. I got like 7 in this year so far. Those are fun. You get both textures, flat drywall, and then you get the brick, and then you get the block. So, it's a little bit of everything. Cool art, cool designs. But yeah, we do a little bit of everything, man. It's we do a lot. So obviously go to the website to check it out. A lot of the stuff isn't on the website. A lot of the stuff isn't on our Instagram just because we are so busy and we try to put the cool stuff out there. But we definitely do, pretty much do it all.
Sweet. Perfect. All right. You got anything else? Anything else you
Oh
want to?
man, that's it. I not really. It was good
Fantastic.
chatting with you. It was good,
Great.
seeing you again.
Yeah, man. I like that shirt you're wearing. I think I caught the top of
Yeah,
like an H or something. I'm like, yeah, a
yeah.
little history of rap shirt.
I
Yeah.
got I got it. I got it before the podcast.
That a boy.
Yeah, you gave me this what at ISA this year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
took a bunch with me and handed them out and said, "All right, now you're in. Now you
Yep.
got to be on." So
Yep.
I think
Absolutely.
you're the second, or I think you're the second. I think Tim. Did I give Tim a T-shirt? I think I gave Tim a T-shirt.
I think you did.
So,
Man. It was me
um,
and
yeah,
Gavin.
yeah.
You get Gavin on yet?
Not yet,
No.
not yet. I gotta get Gavin
Got to
on.
get him on there, man.
I
That
gotta
that
get
kid. I mean, he doesn't really fall into the long history of this, but he's
no,
at the
but
beginning
God,
stages, and that kid is a freaking animal, man.
yeah, he's
Aside
coming
from
up.
him being an animal, he's just a good dude, man. You got to
Yeah,
get him on here.
yeah,
Good kid.
absolutely. Yeah, him. I got Crystal one. I think I gave who else would I give one to? Obviously, I gave one to Matt Ferg and I gave one to Ruggs because they had already been on.
Speaking of Matt Frey, we didn't want to say this earlier, but you were talking about him, and he had just messaged me last night. I was in the middle of doing like back-to-back fantasy drafts.
Mm,
He had messaged me at like 6 o'clock asking me for a recommendation on where to eat out here in Rochester. And I felt bad because I didn't see the message. It's like 9. I was like, damn, this guy probably went home hungry. He probably didn't even look for dinner. He's like, no, no, no. He's like, I'm thinking for another day or whatever. And I was like, I got you, bro. Started, going back and forth. But that guy's such a good guy too. It's funny, like we literally live an hour and a half away from each other.
mm.
And every time we see each other, it's at these shows and events. We're both
Dude, that's
just so
funny.
busy, bro. We laugh about it every time. We're literally neighbors. And he's in Auburn, I'm in Rochester, and we literally don't see each other at all.
That's crazy.
We
Well,
bullshit all
that's
the time, but I'll
yeah,
always see him, in SEMA or ISA or that some show. I'll definitely run into him.
yeah. And well, I mean, that's what the shows and like trainings and stuff are for, is to
Yeah,
reconnect and get with the people that you know and you love and the people that have your back. So, which is
right,
kind of what
right.
I'm learning is it's just like there are so many good people in the industry that all you got to do, all it takes is a phone call
That's
or,
it,
or a
man.
text message, man. And like someone is going to help you. Like someone is going to stop what they're doing
Yep.
and like help.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. I mean, that's what's cool about getting out there. Again, it's one of, like I mentioned earlier, when you see that somebody's investing in themselves,
Mhm.
it makes you want to talk to them. It makes you want to help them because I mean they're looking for that and you are too. So it's what can we teach each other?
Yeah.
It's funny because I work with a lot of shops locally, and some of them don't want to work with us. But I had a conversation with one business owner one time, and basically told them what I was going to do. This is in the beginning of opening up the business, and I basically was trying to leave off on a good foot and keep it open. And I said, hopefully we could work with each other one day, and his response was, I just don't see how that's possible. And that has stuck with me forever because it's like you clearly don't know the value of the industry.
Hmm.
You're very close-minded, and if you feel that way, you feel that way. But I know if he even took that offer that he'd be in a different situation than he is now. But that's, here or there. But
Yeah.
yeah, man. I love it. I
All
definitely love
right.
the industry. It's great. It's great. Networking is everything, bro. It's huge. It's huge.
Perfect. All right, man. I'm gonna cut it there.
Yep, we're
Get
out of
back
here.
home.
Yes,
Get back to
sir.
those kids, and we will talk again soon. Don't
Yes,
forget
sir. I'm
to,
sure I'll see you soon.
yeah, stay in touch, man.
Yeah, take care.
Everybody,
See ya.
see ya.
Dead.